Alright, this is a brief tutorial on Edward Freytag's Funky Fat. This is a snare drum solo. It's a two-pager. You'll have to have your own copy for copyright consideration, so I will not post the music here. But if you have a copy and you're working on it, follow along. It's going to be brief. We're looking at measure 14. Measure 14 seems to be a stumbling block for many young snare drummers trying to play this. And the reason is the combination of a patty-fla-fla straight into Swiss triplets. Alright, so if you look at measure 14, take out the diddle and get it to its bass rhythm and bass rudiment. Basically, you've got tap, 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 flam, flam. So I would suggest practicing patty-fla-flas. Even though there's not a flam on the downbeat, I would go ahead and practice it that way. So you're going to be playing. So practice them as slow as you need to. And there's an accent on the downbeat and an accent on the and then it's just back to back. All right, so practice maybe 4 and 4s. It's a very relaxed rudiment, so you will have to relax to play these correctly. All right, so this goes straight into Swiss triplets. Swiss triplets are right, lefts, or dudapas with a flam on the first of every 3. So the basic rhythm and sticking for the Swiss triplet is just right, left, with a slight emphasis on the first right. Not a big emphasis, just sort of a slight. Alright, so get comfortable with that. The actual figure is alright, then insert the flams as written, which is still in measure 14. If you are not a person who plays Swiss triplets every day, you might want to play maybe 4 and 4s, maybe do some 4 counts of right, lefts without the flam, and 4 counts of right, lefts with a flam. Right? So your right hand is doing basically this. Left hand's doing this. Notice that the left hand is very low, 1 inch. All right. The biggest pitfall for a young percussionist trying to play Swiss triplets is the grace note, as in all flam rudiments. So if your grace notes are real high, it's going to go. Now, I'm still able to play that, but a young, inexperienced player is just going to fall apart. Like that, all right, basically. That left hand has to stay 1 inch or lower over the playing surface when you're playing these. Because remember, a grace note just embellishes the figure. It doesn't add to the length of the note or anything like that. It should never alter the bass rudiment. So, I say all this to say, we put all this together without the diddle, and we go. So that flam, the last flam of the patty-fla-fla into the Swiss triplet is going to be the hardest thing to do. And that's why I said earlier in the video, practice patty-fla-flas. Because you'll be setting this up. Right? So, maybe practice the measure without any flams. Just a 9-stroke roll in the end. Alright, then add flams, and then add the 1 diddle. So, That's what I suggest. Practice patty fly flaw slowly. Very relaxed rudiment. Not. No way. It's got to be very relaxed. With extreme control of the grace note. Alright? And then practice the transition into the Swisses. Alright, it all hinges on that left-handed flam into the right-handed flam of the downbeat of 2 on the Swiss triplet. Right there, I missed it. That one right there. Alright, so practice funky fat, but practice this one measure, and then maybe play the measure before it. Alright, and beyond. Alright, so hopefully this is helpful, and there's no substitute for reps, repetition. Use a metronome. Don't think you have to play it at full speed. This is not a fast solo. This is supposed to be a laid back, chill, whatever the terminology is these days. It's supposed to be laid back, and I don't know. When I was growing up, they'd call it groovy. So this is supposed to be a groovy drum solo, not fast, just sort of a that type of thing. Alright, so practice this slowly and then increase the speed up to maybe 90. I think it's more 88 to 92. Alright, funky fat. Till next time, keep practicing funky fat and other things that will make you a better player. Keep on drumming.